Hey guys, as of Friday, July 26th, I spiced
Gra gra.
second studio album, Y2K, and it's fucking butt booty. This shit is ass. I've heard, just get this out of the way. You know what's a problem when you are signed to a label? You are looked up to by a bunch of people, whether people hate them or love them, you're looked up to. And Lil Chris 3000 has a longer and more well-received mixtape than your second studio project. That is a problem. It's a problem. This is just a little bit of an update. I was looking at the album and just look at the view ratios on like what's came out versus like what hasn't came out. Like this is sad. This feels sad. Look at like I look at this and I don't think it's Ice Spice. I think it's completely something else. Now, what makes this album mid is, let's look at Like. It has catchy tunes, catchy bars, funny bars, good production, like genuinely good production. Like you listen to it and you're like, okay, like whether you like her or hate her, she has good songs. And there are some good songs on this album too. I think the two that stood out that I really was like, okay, I fuck with this, was Did It First and BB Bell. But those are the only two like good songs on the album. Everything else is mid. First of all, Fat Butt is one of the worst fucking songs I've ever heard from almost from any just big artist of someone of Ice Spice standards. Because there's no fucking way she listened to this and said, yep, this is the one. She wants to be Nicki Minaj so badly. Like, it's becoming a problem. I'm surprised there wasn't a Nicki Minaj feature on the album. And the craziest part is, the song on Like, with the Nicki Minaj feature, is one of the most popular songs. So this album would have been better if you put Nicki Minaj on the album. You have the money. You have the money, you have the fame, you have the ability to do it, but you chose not to, and it fucking sucked. This should be D.I.D. the album. There are parts where it's some basic ass shitty trap beat, and then on songs like Popa, some crazy 808 comes in, and I'm like, oh fuck, like this is hard, this shit's hard. And then she starts fucking rapping, and it's just, who greenlit this project? Who told you this was a good idea? This shit sucks. Stop saying your song is fire. Your nose is growing. Like, this shit is ass. I expected so much more out of this project, just in general. Like, I expected so much more out of this project. I was looking up to it. Like, when Fat Butt came out, that's when everything went weird. That's when everything crashed down, right? And then Did It First came out. I fuck with that song so heavily. That is a good song. Whether you like her or hate her for the situation, it's a good song. I've been bumping that song all fucking week. And thank God it's on the album, or this album would have been so much lower than I'm about to fucking rate. It's just like, it's one of the most mediocre hip-hop projects in the world. And I want to sit here and try to compare it to other artists, but I feel like that's wrong. So instead we're gonna like compare it to Like. Because why not? If you go track for track, Like is objectively better. From start to finish, it's just objectively better. Catch your beats, catch your lyrics, funnier lyrics, more memorable songs. Feels like Y2K, she wanted to be someone she's not. She wanted to be funny, but then it didn't deliver. Like the delivery wasn't good. And especially a few hours before this, not even a few hours before this, Scarlip's verse on the Double XL freestyle came out, and that has some of the funniest fucking bars. So really, like, I was warmed up. I was warmed up and ready for comedy, and it didn't deliver. There are some of like the most insane simple bars that are just like, what the fuck? Like, how'd you turn Millionaire into like almost a 3-syllable word. I'm almost a millionaire. Or it's like what? I am a millionaire. That's ass. Stop that. Why'd you write that down? I'm convinced you have a ghostwriter because this shit sucks. It sucks. But there is credit to where credit is due. There's a story. There's a continuous theme of cheating where Ice Spice is explaining how, like, she has, obviously, she doesn't say it directly, but obviously she has a problem with getting with men who are going to cheat on her, cheating on them, and then it going into one big fucking circle. Really? Really? Disappointment. It's just disappointment. What else? What's some good things I can say about this album? Some good songs, standout songs. Popa, BB Belt, the one with Gunna, I forget what that song's called. And Did It First. The two best songs in the album are BB Belt and Did It First. With Travis Scott couldn't even be saved by Travis. You expect Travis to carry the song because it's like Travis features usually go hard, but it doesn't. It just sucks. Like people were talking about Bando Stone and the Yeet feature. Let's talk about Y2K and the Travis feature because it's disappointing. Like especially with what came out, like Parking Lot, it wasn't the best thing I've ever heard, but you know what? It was tolerable. It was listenable, and to an extent, I've taken that song off and on my playlist so many times. It doesn't feel listenable. Like it feels like an endless part of like Travis's part on Type Shit, where like it stops and like the drums cut out and it's just that melodic melody, basically. That didn't make any sense. And it's kind of like a lower tone, just a little bit of reverb, and he's rapping over it, and you're like, ooh, yeah, and then the kicks start to come in, you're like, ooh, and then the beat drop, and then it's just like, oh, that's fire. Not like this. This is one of, I think, the worst album I've heard this year. And so, in conclusion, I'd say this is like a solid 5, maybe a light 5.5. And maybe is a very strong maybe. The strongest maybe you've ever fucking heard. So yeah, a 5. This shit's so mid. It shouldn't be called Y2K. It should be called mid. But instead of Y2K exclamation point, it should be M1D exclamation point. I have nothing else to say. That's about it, really. Make and to boost the morale up. I found this really funny video on TikTok, and I wanted to put it in because it really reminded me of this album and what I wanted to say about this album. So we're gonna play the clip.
Yeah, I mean, I got caught doing it in a car with my ex. That's about it, though. What about you?
One time I had skipped math class to cheat on my boyfriend. I gave his homeboy neck in the bathroom. And the funny part is his homeboy had came in too, and like just so I don't, get caught up, I had gave his homeboy some too. But like the crazy funny part is like the gym teacher had came in there and I was already failing gym class, so I was like, you know what, like, come on, you next. But then the math teacher that I was skipping the class for came in and he was mad. And so I was just like, you know what, like, let me make you feel better. Because, like, I'm a bad student. So I was like, just hop in line next. But, like, the basketball team was looking for their coach and they came in the bathroom. And I was just like, oh, damn, like, y'all good? And they was like, they tired for basketball practice. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get y'all right. Just come on, get in line. But, like, the crazy part was, like, the principal came in. And when the principal came in, he was talking about, like, telling on me to my parents, and I was like, wait, no, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in trouble at home. So I was like, you know what, like, just here, you can skip the line. Just skip the line. You can come in front of everybody because, like, you more important right now. And yeah, like, it was crazy, but, you know, I'm good now. Here we are. Wait, what's wrong?